Hello, and welcome to the Movie Universe. I'm your host, Movie Fan. Today I'm going to do a little short talking about simple history. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know what it is, because it's been around for a while, and I'm sure just about everybody has seen at least one little video of theirs. For those of you who haven't, and I doubt that, simple history is basically, well, as the name implies, it's just a simplified take on events that happen throughout history. And these guys talk about everything. They talk about, like some of the great generals of the past. They talk about World War II, Vietnam. They even talk about simple stuff like how did the ancient Romans use the toilet back then? You name it, they've talked about it. I've watched a good lot of their clips off and on for about a year now. And I gotta say, being a history buff, they're actually pretty accurate. Now, granted, because it's a simplified version that's just trying to keep everyone's attention and to just get to the nitty gritty, there's a lot of details that are either cut out, overlooked, or just not brought up. Because, there's some incidences in history that are just so complicated that you would have to talk to a history professor on this one. But there are a few things that sometimes they either overlook or maybe they just stick with one title alone. Like for instance, the Viet Cong booby traps. Now, they covered a lot of great booby traps, which actually did exist. Most of them are pretty legendary, like the punji sticks. Everybody knows those, and all the other traps that they did. However, there was one trap that they overlooked, and that was basically grenade booby traps that used our garbage. I've heard this story from actual people who were there, that they did do this. How it worked was they would get basically a tin can, which was a sea ration from our troops' mess kits. What they would do is they would get this empty tin can, they would put a grenade in it, and they would have a tripwire to it. They would have the can on one side, possibly just out in the open, maybe in the brush, kind of depends where you want it to go, and the tripwire to the other side. Once a GI comes close and trips the wire, it pulls the pin on the grenade, and possibly the grenade comes out, whatever works, and then boom. True story. How they ended up overlooking that, I don't know. But like I said, they tried to just cut to the chase. Plus, they seem to be more involved with the primitive booby traps that they used. But, that's okay. Sometimes you can't cover everything. I've seen a lot of documentaries that cover certain parts and not everything. And truth be told, I've seen a lot of documentaries about Viet Cong booby traps that didn't cover half of what they brought up. They always bring up the legendary punji sticks and the grenade booby trap, but there's a lot more that they don't cover. You'd be amazed in these documentaries what they don't cover. What I find interesting is they use this two-dimensional flash animation to get things done. If you haven't seen A Simple History, you might want to check it out. It's actually pretty good. It depends like what you're interested in. Now, granted, there's going to be some stuff that's either overlooked or just oversimplified, maybe even cut out because, like I said, they can't cover everything. It's simple, it's direct, it's to the point. It's definitely worth checking out. If you're a history buff like me, this might be for you. And if you're not, again, you might want to check it out anyway. Who knows? You might learn something. This is Movie Fan, signing off.